So today we're reviewing
Copshop.
In Copshop, a small-town police station becomes the unlikely battleground between a professional hitman butler, a smart rookie female cop, and a double-crossing con man who seeks refuge behind bars with no place left to run. So Barry is taking place of Jake in this review. Jake was not able to see this movie, but we just saw Copshop, and this was a movie that looked interesting and looked really weird from the trailers, but I saw some really good reviews for it, so that's the main reason I really wanted to go check it out. But what were your initial thoughts of Copshop?
Copshop, I thought was a good movie, maybe a real good movie. I think, I know we'll go into scores later.
Just initial thoughts.
Initial thoughts, I don't get to go to that many movies, so I was obviously excited to go to a movie, and I liked the previews I got from this movie. I thought it would be an action-packed, good story movie with good characters, and it delivered. I thought it was a good movie, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, this was a big surprise. I had heard good reviews about it, but, you never know until you actually go see it, and I was pleasantly surprised with this movie. I thought it was I can say pretty confidently, I thought it was a great movie. I'm tempted to go back and see it again. Probably going to go back and see it again. There's a lot to like about it. I really had a good time in this movie, even though we had some people in the theater that were trying to ruin it for us by being stupid. But I still had a great time even through that. But why don't we go into your positives of the movie?
I thought positives.
Non-spoiler.
It delivered what I thought it was going to be as far as a movie. Again, with good characters, a good storyline, very in-depth storyline with a lot of different things going on, not just one, in particular. There was obviously one main story theme to the movie, but there was all these different things going around with it that, had you thinking a little bit as it was going on. It all ends up making sense. I thought there was a lot of, like Kenny said, it was a really good movie. I thought the characters in the movie played really good roles. Nothing was really disappointing with it. There was a few questions I had as it started, but it definitely flowed into something, really good, like I thought it was going to be. And again, I mentioned it, Kenny, I definitely respect and appreciate, actors and actresses playing these roles that they do to not only make good movies, but, present different things to show off their talents. And I thought the main female character in this movie,
Alexis Louder,
did an outstanding job, and definitely made the movie even better. So I think there's actors in this that I've liked before in other movies.
A lot of actors.
I've never seen her in a movie before that I know of, and I thought she did a great job.
Yeah, my positives, might as well go into that right now. I have the cast up, but the acting was great all around. There's a lot of side characters, but the main, I guess, three characters, I guess I could say four, is Frank Grillo, Gerard Butler, Toby Huss, who's the crazy guy, and Alexis Louder. They were all perfect in their roles. They were all really good and convincing. And really, I'd say those three characters are the main ones that there's a lot of interaction between them. There's a lot of moments where they have to interact, and really moments where I did not know what was going to happen. And it really does a good job of putting these characters in difficult positions where they have to make decisions that are really difficult to decide. But the action was good. The acting was good. The comedy was also really good. And the suspense. But what are your negatives for the film?
Well, like you said, I don't think there's anything negative that stands out that I would dwell on. I enjoyed the movie. I thought, again, I was telling Kenny that sometimes these movies borderline on, I wasn't sure if the movie was going to go too into the comedy, into a movie like this. I think you can have comedy mixed in like they did. At times it was a little tricky to do, I think, because you're throwing comedy into death scenes and things like that. So that's a hard mix. But it reminded me of, if I had to give analogy movies, maybe Die Hard to a point.
Yeah.
Different action-packed movies that just mix some humor into things that are, real-life situations. So no negatives for me, that were that big.
I guess my negatives really, I think it was a longer movie, And I really can't complain about that, though, because I really didn't even know. I mean, there was a moment towards the end where there's a couple moments where I thought, okay, this is going to end, but then something else happens. And then I thought, like, okay, it could have ended there. But then again, the stuff that it shows after that point made sense and I thought should be there. So that's not really a negative in that way either. So, I mean, I think maybe there are some points that might, I guess, move a little slow. And I guess there's a couple, there might be a little too many. There's a lot of times where something happens and then, without spoiling it, there's like a double, quadruple cross of things happening that you think this is happening, then something else happens, and then something else. I'm talking super broad because I can't spoil it. Maybe that could come off as a negative, but that's probably about it.
Yeah, I think, just to carry on with that, without giving away the movie in specifics, I mean, I think it's also, there's different settings and things that movies do that make it even harder to make it a good movie, and they still accomplish that. And I think you'll see that when you see the movie of what I'm talking about, but when you have limited surroundings or
one location,
scene type things, I think that makes it harder. And I thought they carried on something that, if I went into it knowing where it was going to be and where it was going to stay, I just said that's really hard to make that good of a movie out of that, but they did. Yeah,
they did do a good job with the small location. I guess I definitely want to get into the spoilers. There's so many things that I want to compliment this movie on that I can't. But why don't we go into final thoughts? Why don't we go into final thoughts and score?
I think, final thoughts again. It was a very good movie. I'm assuming it's around 2 hours long.
It was 100.
It definitely moved well, but the movie itself still, for me, was letter grade at least a B plus, A minus, and I'm gonna say 8.5, 8.5.
Okay. Thinking about a score, I mean, this is a movie. There's certain kinds of movies that a movie I can have not many negatives to it and like it, but still not give it the highest grade ever, And this is a great movie. I had a great time. The great actors, great suspense, and I really love the way this movie was designed and how it had me thinking, not knowing. I seriously didn't know one character. I didn't even know if one character was going to walk out. Watching this movie, I really didn't know who was going to make it out of this movie alive, and that's the truth. And there's a lot of good action, and I'd probably have to give this a 9 out of 10. I think that's a pretty solid score. I don't think it's not even one of my favorite movies of all time. Honestly, it might grow to that, honestly. No, 9 out of 10. Really enjoyed this movie. Yeah, so this was our review of Copshop. I definitely recommend it. If you haven't seen Copshop, definitely go check it out. And usually Jake does the closing, but we will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.